怖いって思ったこと一回もなかったですよ。信じてくださいね。
こんなにもまっすぐな人がいるんだと思った。
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation, and our Paws On Netflix podcast.
And today we're covering the Netflix anime, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
Yes, and this is anime that I have been wanting to see for a long time, and now that it recently finished airing on Netflix, we can finally cover this sweet anime. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notifications with a future podcast and want to pause videos.
Thank you so much for joining us today, subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, everything you do. We really appreciate you so much, specials. Thank you.
Yes.
This is one of those anime that there's a large number of people who read the manga, but a lot of people who haven't read the manga aren't aware of its existence. I remember when it was first announced it was coming out on Netflix, and there were like thousands and thousands of people who were happy about it. And it was originally supposed to come out in June. Well, they released it everywhere in the world but America in June.
Right.
And then they made America wait until it was almost done running, yes, in September to release it here, which was very wrong. And as we mentioned, we had no foreknowledge of this. It looked really nice on the thumbnail or the picture they showed.
Yes.
It seemed like it was going to be a really nice story. We learned that Megumi's voice actor,
Robbie Damon.
Yes, and that right there sealed it for us watching it, just because we said, oh, he's voicing the character. So we watched the first episode in all honesty, and the first couple episodes we were kind of trepidatious, kind of shaky, not sure if we were going to stick with it. So we left for a little while and returned to watching it.
Right.
And then it picked up, and we absolutely love it.
Yes. And there's a lot of things that makes it stand out from other romance anime that you've seen. You can tell it was heavily influenced by My Love Story and a few others. Only this one leans towards more of the romance than the comedy. It is a rom-com, but it's taken a little more seriously and having fun moments, but it's not all high comedy unless you're only focused on his friends and the school for the boys.
And unlike My Love Story, where you heard only the main character's thoughts, you hear both of their thoughts.
Yes.
The two main characters.
Yes, that's something else that made it stand out.
So for those of you not familiar with The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, like we weren't, it's a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Saka Makami. It was serialized in Kodansha's Pocket website magazine and on their app since October of 2021. And as you mentioned, it's a rom-com. The manga has 21 volumes. It's still currently running. So there's really not an end to this story.
Right, but Netflix seems to have ended it at a certain place when you watch it.
And the anime has 13 episodes. It ran from July 6th of 2025 to September, everywhere but the U.S. And after that, it ran here beginning in September.
And they aired one episode a week. They took no breaks, so they made it last as long as possible. Some people were able to see it ahead of time and watched in Japan and were able to watch in other countries and just kind of skipped to that and just forgot about the English dub altogether. But there were others like us who were patiently waiting for Netflix to release the English dub weekly.
Right. Now, the manga and anime have received widespread critical acclaim, particularly for the writing, characters, art style, voice performances, and emotional portrayal. And as of December of 2025, this manga has sold over 10 million copies.
Yeah, so it is.
And it's one of the big sellers that you never heard about.
Yeah.
It's like a well-kept secret. And I think it still is because I think only people, again, who are familiar with the manga watched it.
Right.
And then there were some stragglers like us who watched it out of curiosity. I don't think it was big. And that's unfortunate because it's a really, really great one.
Right. And I think it's also an oversaturation of anime in some parts. Netflix really wants to be in on the anime, kind of like Disney. And while they've had some actual hits here and there, and they've been able to get the license to stream a lot of the big name animes in the U.S., I think in terms of getting some new things, it's a little harder because there's so many new ones coming out. You can have 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 or 15 different animes coming on every different season, every quarter of the year. And there's also an absence of romance or rom-com, specifically the rom-com. People
Right.
say that you barely see anymore. You don't get rom-com movies in America much anymore. You don't get rom-com mangas and anime much. The ones they do make, they just try to spit out in their cookie cutter, and none of them stand out.
Very true.
Fragrant Flower does have an opportunity to become one that stands out, even if it's not wacky and crazy like Love is War.
True. So we have the first main character, Rentaro Tsumugi,
Mhm.
as we mentioned, voiced by Robbie Damon,
Mhm.
who's at a public school.
Mhm.
And then the second main character, Karuko Wagari, and he calls her Miss Wagari.
Mm-hmm.
She is at a private academy named Kikyo.
Yes.
And they have, you think their first meeting in the first episode.
Mhm.
But when you get to toward the end of the anime season, you find out they had not only one but two prior encounters.
Mhm.
And that in those encounters, she had already fallen for him.
Mhm.
And it took him to what we learned was not the first encounter, but the third encounter,
Right.
to notice her and fall for her.
Yes.
And he's very, very tall, of course. And he's considered a lower class. He's considered
Yeah.
a delinquent. He's got blonde hair and earrings.
Of course.
And it was so funny because you learn later on that he styled his hair and wore the earrings because of an American chef
Yes.
that he wanted to be like. And it was so sweet when you learn that his mom didn't want him to be out by himself and ridiculed and feel alone. So she bleached her hair too and got earrings so she
Right,
could
right.
be. I love his parents.
Yes.
He has some of the best parents in anime.
Yes, definitely. And every episode, I think, does a great job of staying on its own. It's not just one particular event or story that is taking forever to finish, it's taking 20 minutes each to tell. You're either getting on different characters, different perspectives, you're getting backstory, explanations, exposition. It's not feeling like it's just long and drawn out. They actually take the time to
Yes.
let you get to know each character in each episode. And they also subvert a lot of tropes and expectations in here, which is another reason why it's different.
Yes.
Rather than all of the characters be at each other's throats and have one versus the other, you have points in here, especially on the girls' side, where they learn they were wrong and they actually apologize for their actions. They try to make it up to, what's his name again?
Tsumugi.
Sumuki.
Oh, Rachel.
And try to become friends and get to know him rather than immediately judge him based on looks. And we do like everyone's developing and becoming friends in here and trying. Some are having a little more difficulty, others are more natural to it. But you see that there is progress with both sides.
And another thing, in case you're wondering, there's absolutely not one bit of fan service.
No.
I don't think there was any cursing.
Maybe one.
Okay.
That's
There was
it.
no vulgarity.
No.
And there was no violence.
No. Some bullies
had-
get beaten off screen and that's
Right. And that is just like, what?
it. Yeah.
Because you kept waiting for the garbage. Because Netflix, they like to put it in their anime.
Yeah.
But they must have had some type of deal with the writer or the producer and director of the anime, which would be Miyuki Kuroki
Mhm.
and Haruka Suzuki,
Mhm.
that they wouldn't have it because they didn't have it. And it was pretty
Yeah.
darn refreshing.
Especially for Netflix that loves to have fan service and violence.
Yeah, and vulgarity. I mean, phew,
Yeah.
your ears will fall off. But no, in here, it didn't happen.
Right.
You immediately like Rentaro, and you
Mhm.
immediately like Kuroko.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately like them. You immediately
Yes,
like
you
them.
do.
Even when you learn that they go to the upper crest school, and her friend Subaru, as she calls her,
Mhm.
is with her, and she acts in a way you didn't like, and as you said, but is rectified later.
Mhm.
You still like her because she still was trying to defend him, and you like him because he's supposed to be this delinquent, but he didn't act like it.
Yeah. And it was so funny. Mom kept saying, "Why?" And then they said he's scary looking, which is also a reference to either
No,
Toradora
he's hot. They keep
or
doing
My
that.
Love
They'll have a
Story.
hot guy
Yeah.
who's really tall
Where? Like, where?
and has blonde hair and earrings.
That's
and,
scary.
Oh my gosh!
That's in the anime world. That's considered scary for
It was
some
funny when it
reason.
used to be bad boy, but now they want to paint it as something else. So it's like, why?
Right.
But you immediately like both of them, and he's the sweetest character, and she's very sweet too. But all I think about is Tokyo Revengers and delinquents go to school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And you're like waiting to see the delinquent behavior from he and his friends. And the most it is saying a couple things and asking questions and making assumptions about the wealthier school attendees.
And they're
That's
not really
it.
good in class sometimes. Like, they have to study hard and focus to get better grades.
But it's like, this is delinquent. Wow. Then what would they call the people in the U.S.?
Oh my.
If this is what's considered delinquent?
Yeah, it's like he's just kind of there. Delinquent. Okay, sure. Poor guy.
So, toward the end of the season, in everywhere else but America, they showed Rentero's dad.
Yeah.
And the internet went crazy.
Right.
His name is Kiichiro Sumugi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's voiced by Keith Silverstein, which is funny.
Yeah, like, hey.
And Rentaro looks like a blonder version of him because he's bleached his hair. But he has dark hair, and Rascal says sleepy, tired eyes. And it was so many people on the internet, by the tens of thousands, were going, oh, forget Rentaro. Look at his dad. Oh, look at his hot dad. And the day they showed the anime episode everywhere but America, X was just flooded with pictures of him and people making comments and crushing on him and doing fan art. And it was like, not Rentaro, but the dad.
That was hilarious. Seriously.
It was hilarious. And I remember saying, okay, I can't wait to get to the episode with the dad. You're like, oh no. And it took almost to the end of the series.
Yeah, literally. That's when he showed up.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I heard him talk like, one, he kind of looks like Nanami if he had dark hair. And two, with the Keith Silverstein, it is Hawkmoth. Immediately I was him like, hey, it's Hawkmoth.
So that was one of the highlights. And then a lot of people really like how Karuko dresses. She's very understated. She dresses very fashionably, very stylish, very pretty. But all her skirts are long. And she wears things that cover up her chest. Mm-hmm. And she tends to wear long sleeve items.
Yes.
And pretty sweaters and things. Her hair is styled very romantically.
Right.
Very pretty, long with the curls. And similar to like in the 1800s, she either has her hair down or she has it piled up on top. And she wears little understated flats or small heels. Her makeup is very prettily done. She's not overdone up. And she's just very ladylike. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people love her character because of that. The men love her. Mm-hmm. And the question kept being on X, why don't more women dress like this?
Yeah.
True. And the answer kept being because they want to show everything. Mm-hmm. But she looked beautiful. Mm-hmm. Every single outfit she had on, even asleep at home, she had cute little loungewear. Mm-hmm. And it was, again, refreshing.
Yeah.
Also, the uniforms for the school that she goes to, the Kikyo Private Academy, the skirts are longer. Mm-hmm. They're not short like we see in every other anime. Mm-hmm. And they are dressed very respectably.
Yes.
And it's just a big change for what we've seen in anime since we began. That it's not overt. It's just really understated.
Yes.
And the characters are sweet. And they're all developed well in this anime. So what I'm thinking is, if they're developed this well in the anime and it's only 13 episodes, the manga must be fantastic.
Yeah, how much further does it go in developing everybody in this romance?
So it's just a sweet watch, a fun watch, great characters. There's some comedy in here that really is smart comedy. Mm-hmm. And as you said in the backstories, you learn them. And some of them aren't as serious as others. But you understand how each one forms the character's personality and how they've been up to this point. It's not just show me something sad,
right?
Tug at your heartstrings, and that's what we want to do. I can honestly say there wasn't one character in here that happened to, which is also refreshing.
Right.
So we're going to say, if you have not seen The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, you're making a big mistake. You need to watch it. However you're going to get it and watch it, you should watch it, because you'll just be really pleased with how it progresses and turns out. Hang in there. Again, the first episode, second episode, you may go, I don't know. Just hang in there, because by the third episode, you're hooked.
Right.
So let's go over the cast quickly.
Okay.
As we mentioned, Rentero's voiced by Robbie Damon. Karuko's voiced by Bijou Van. Mm-hmm. We're doing an English cast. Shohei Usumi is voiced by Aaron Yamawaki, and these are either her friends or his friends. Saku Natsusawa, voiced by Aaron Forrest. Ayato Yorida, voiced by Skylar Silverlake. Subaru Hoshina, voiced by Kelly Baskin. Kyoko Sumuki, his mom, voiced by Stacy Bongo. Madoka Yazuhara, voiced by Lena Lemon. Kiichiro Sumugi, his dad, voiced by Keith Silverstein. And Shin Sukata is voiced by Brick Patrick. Ayumi Sawatari, Deneen Melody. Suzuka Asakura, voiced by Callie Walker. We want to say that Subaru, or Subaru as she calls her, at first they make you hesitant in liking her on purpose, and then you get the more unfolding of her backstory and how she is, and you end up loving her by the end as well. You end up loving all of them, his friends and her friends, and it's just, again, a different type of anime you really should watch. If you need a palate cleanser from all your violence and vulgarity and fan service, or if this is just what you're looking for and can't find it, here it is. Oh yeah, it's happening.
Yes.
Come back and tell us what you think.
And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos, favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Yes, and thank you so much again for joining us today. We hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic February. Subscribing to our channels, commenting everything you do. You know you're on Valentine's specials.
Yes.
As always,
yes,
you are specials.
Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And the Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.
他でもないあなただから私は知りたいと思ったんですよ。